Joining us now for Insight, we've got Dave Mazza, CEO, Roundhill Investments. Dave, it is good to see you this Monday morning. All right, look, there was bleeding on the balance sheet here for Onsemi. They posted a loss of more than $486 million. But if you strip out those one-time items, adjusted EPS, 55 cents a share, that's a beat. Revenue, $1.45 billion. That's a beat, although it is down 22% on a year-over-year basis. Was this essentially just a low bar that it cleared in your view, Dave?
Yeah, well, Onsemi had already kind of guided down earnings for this quarter. So I think actually being able to beat those earnings in isolation, it looks positive. But this name has been under pressure now since 2023, down 60% from its all-time highs. It's sort of in the eye of the storm of some of the tariff issues, particularly when it comes to the auto sector. Right, a lot of the revenues are coming from outside the U.S. So I do think this quarter, I think markets reacting a bit positively because maybe some of the worst case fears are off the table, but certainly sort of the outlook for the business in the near term here is a little bit still concerning.
Now, to be fair, a little bit concerning. They did raise their Q2 guidance. Now they're projecting for adjusted EPS to come in between 48 to 58 cents. The consensus view was looking for 51 cents. Revenue, they're guiding for between 1.4 to 1.5 billion. Does that give you any kind of reassurance?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. A name like Semiconductor is sort of kind of hard to put into an actual place of whether you want to be buying it, holding it, or selling it. And here's why. Sort of in the near term, all the headwinds from tariffs and sort of policy uncertainty are going to weigh on the name. And it's going to probably be whipsawed more than anything fundamentally right here, sort of in the here and now. But longer term, Onsemi is a name that's providing the kind of brains and nerves for EVs, really for the future of the auto industry, right? So I do think sort of seeing that kind of positive uptick here kind of in the second quarter is generally a positive. But until we kind of get some more clarity of sort of what exactly our tariffs going to be, particularly when it comes to the components that Onsemi is so important in delivering, it's really difficult to ascertain if we're going to see a positive uptrend recover from, look at the chart right now, recover from really the challenges that the stock's faced.
Dave, do you think that Onsemi is managing expectations well, given kind of the weakness that they've had recently?
Well, that's something that I'd say with a positive. Is certainly they've guided down expectations, trying to kind of measure the marketplace to better understand sort of where revenue and earnings are going to come in. Because we know at the same time they're sort of trying to transform their business. In February, announced some job force reduction to kind of help shore up things from that point of view. Questions about mergers and acquisitions here. But at the end of the day, I do think they're doing a better job of having of guiding the market to generally where revenue and earnings are going to go, because we know that, again, they've already faced that sort of EV winter that's been playing out. Then you throw on the tariff uncertainty. I think it's difficult for any company to navigate through that market environment.
So, Dave, I want to ask you then, looking more broadly within this sector, because it seems like it's unclear what the investable case is for Onsemi. Like you said, it's unclear whether it's a hold, sell, or buy at this point. What are you thinking about positioning within the sector?
Yeah, well, it's interesting, right? Semiconductors have been a place where it's been a have and have-nots marketplace. And there's been other sectors like that, right? And so take a huge step back. We all know the have is Nvidia, to some extent, other AI names like AMD. And then sort of the have-nots have been sort of your more core semiconductor plays, right? Whether that's a Texas Instruments, to some extent, a name like ON. But semis, again, it's the tip of the economic spear. I view semis as sort of the new oil names, the new transportation as they go. Broadly speaking, the market goes later. They've become a bit less cyclical because of just the plowing of capital into AI. But really the outlook has, I think, remains very near-term challenged here. We can see sort of probably some opportunities to trade it a bit more. I think semis, we're going to see a very fat and flat trading range for the rest of 2025, which actually makes real opportunities for trading, because I do think we're going to see things get too negative on the downside, which is probably an opportunity for a trader to step in. And then at different times, probably too positive on the upside, which is a different market environment we've been in because of the policy uncertainty and overhangs on semis. I think that's going to be driving things for the rest of 2025.
And then, Dave, I want to get a quick final thought from you on the recent performance we've seen in the S&P 500, this 9-day winning streak. Is this a head fake or is this real?
Yeah, I think I'm near term. I'm really cautious. Great to see the market begin to find some footing. So when I mentioned that kind of fat and flat trading range, I think you can most definitely apply it to semis, tech, and then because of the weight of the Magnificent Seven and mega cap tech, it's going to apply to the broader market. So it's I think we got way too concerned about all the negative risks to the downside, and opportunity came in, particularly from a technical point of view, for people to step in and take advantage of that. And now I think some of the harder work begins. We're still in the heart of earnings season, as we know. Huge companies reporting this week, and of course the Fed meeting. And until we get through that, I think it's difficult to really say, well, are we going to make this another 9-day winning streak? So time will tell from that point of view.
Time will tell. Dave Mazza, CEO, Roundhill Investments. Great insight and analysis on Onsemi, the semiconductor space and beyond. Thank you, Dave.